What's happening, Wisdom Warriors of Light? Back at it for another video. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? How you doing today? You know, surprisingly, not surprisingly, but I will say today I feel a lot better than I felt this last week. Finally, the headache has subsided. I did a lot of breath work today. Um, Quite a bit actually this morning, more than I usually do in a morning anyway. I did probably like 3 sessions of breath work, and then I did some awareness practices and just some other things. But before I get into this video, I just want to remind you all, please subscribe, share, comment, and like. I really appreciate each and every one of you for being a part of this channel, being a part of this journey with me, helping to grow this beautiful, safe community for us all to come together and just share our journeys and our experiences and help one another through this awakening process, you know. So just drop in the comments what you're feeling, how you've been doing, what you're experiencing, you know, so we all can learn and grow and evolve from it. That's how we help one another. So like I said, I appreciate each and every one of you for subscribing. The new subscribers, thank you. Who have newly subscribed, I'm truly grateful for each and every one of you, and you're helping to grow this beautiful community of like-minded individuals who can share safely and feel comfortable in doing so. And so yeah, let's get into it, man. A lot has been coming up this week for me since doing that medbed/EE system. I did feel a lot of emotional things arising. I did experience a headache this entire week, but I realized that that's the third eye. Um, and it has to do with the third eye upgrades and whatnot, and we'll get into that in another video. But yeah, I want to get into this. I want to also just mention to you all, I pulled 3 cards from Kyle Gray's Oracle Angel Guide Oracle deck. If you want to get it, go ahead and get it. I'm not sponsoring him. I hope to one day be sponsoring him. But yeah, I'm not earning any revenue for you buying this deck. So if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. But I can tell you right now, it's a badass deck. I use it. I've been using it almost every day, and it really helps you on this journey, kind of confirm how you're feeling, because you ask the universe, you ask your angels, like he says in the book and in the front of the deck, and your angels give you what you need, and you can deeply feel it internally, how it resonates with you from a heart-centered space. So I asked for 3 cards to be drawn from the deck for the collective, and this is what came up. So feel how it feels to you, but I can definitely see how it connects to me. We have strength and guidance. Strength and guidance. I'm pretty sure you can see that. I'm looking on a little screen here. So I'm not going to put it all up in your face, but the next one we have is clear, cancel, and release. Beautiful cards. Again, this is Kyle Gray's deck. And then we have learning experience, because everything we're going through and everything we're doing is a learning experience on this earth plane. So yeah, those are the 3 cards that came through. One of these days I'm going to do like a video on, we're going to draw some cards and I'll read you from the book what those cards mean. Maybe we'll do a couple videos like that. Yeah, I just feel called that today is not the day. I just felt called to pull these cards. Somebody needed to see it. Just, sit with it. Rewind the video if you have to. And just, see how it resonates with you. See what it feels like to you internally. see how it connects to your situations that you're experiencing currently. So there you have it. You know, and you know, so I wanted to talk a little bit about surrendering and faith and trust. I know I've made multiple videos about this topic, but I can tell you right now that I got a deeper knowing that happened to me this morning and the last couple days. I've gotten messages for the last few weeks, and I kept saying to myself, what does this have to do with me? Why do these messages keep coming up? Why do I keep seeing these messages? And to be quite honest with you, I got the answers that I already knew. I already knew it from deep down. I knew it from day one. And, you know, I've told you about the channel that I have with Jeremiah where we're doing, and the website and the community we're designing and building, which is Spiritual Boot Camp. And if you haven't checked it out already, go to spiritualbootcamp.net. Also, you can go to Spiritual Boot Camp Just Breathe on YouTube. And we have a couple videos up on YouTube. We're redoing the YouTube channel because I had to delete it because it was all screwed up with the email. So I had to redo it basically and delete all the content we had on there already. And now there's like 2 videos up there, but it's kind of guiding you to our website, which has over 23 episodes, and some of them are well over 2 hours. So there's plenty of content. You don't have to listen to it all in one sitting. You can binge watch, listen to it. You can, eventually we're going to have the videos up, but you can just listen to it and go back to it, and when you're ready and you need it, or you want to, you know, hear more. So we talked extensively on there about soulmates and twin flames, and I'm going to tell you right now a little bit of a story of mine, which happened back in 2017, and I've kind of talked a little bit about it, but I haven't really gone into detail. This video is going to be a little bit longer than I've wanted to do lately, because you know how YouTube wants you to do these under 10-minute videos. Well, this one's going to be a little bit longer because I kind of want to go into this story. You know, I'm going to get vulnerable with you all, and I'm going to open my heart up, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this. I'm kind of resistant and reluctant to do it, but let's do it, you know. And it's going to kind of lead into what I'm talking about faith and trust and surrendering. So just get ready, just listen, be patient with me, because I'm going to get vulnerable and I'm going to get open, and I'm going to explain myself a little bit more into what happened to me in 2017. So I'll go into a little bit of this story. I met this. Now, here's the thing, like I kind of explained in previous videos, that even if you're on a dating site, or even if you're doing resumes online, right? It doesn't matter what category you're doing things in. It just requires you to take action in some way. And as you do that, and you trust, and you have faith, and you surrender to the outcome, that you don't try to control it, or you don't have doubt that the universe is going to deliver, right? The universe will deliver. But we've been so conditioned to doubt everything. And there's so much confusion with the information that's being given to us out there too, because there's a lot of misinformation, and so it creates doubt also. And I actually heard somebody tell me recently how I can't remember where I heard this, or if it was somebody I was doing record readings with or something. I can't really remember, but I do remember deeply that they were telling me, oh yeah, it was somebody I met in person, actually. And they were talking a little bit about The Sound of Freedom, the movie The Sound of Freedom, and how they went and saw it and they were extremely emotional. And I haven't seen the movie yet. I do plan to see it very soon, um, because I know of a couple of the individuals, um, and especially the one that was being that they were acting of in the movie. And so they were saying that they were really emotional, and they came out of it and they were extremely emotional, and that it touched them deeply. But then they came across somebody who they value and respect the information that comes from them, and they were they were contradicting the things that were happening in the movie. So they began to doubt what was happening and question what was happening, and they didn't really believe it. And I I had to basically say, look, it comes down to this. It comes down to when you listen to that misinformation, or I don't even want to say misinformation, but when you listen to that information from someone else contradicting what you thought to believe true, which one felt right within you, within inside of you, which one deep down resonated with you the most? And that's the one you want to trust and go towards, and put your belief in. So you had this emotional reaction to the movie. You felt it in your heart. It cracked you open. That to me would feel good. That to me would be, I wouldn't necessarily, let me not say that would feel good. It's using the wrong word, but that would resonate with me the most. Versus like listening to somebody contradict how you actually felt. Because that's essentially what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you off course. They're trying to put out all this confusing information so that you begin to doubt yourself. Because the more you doubt yourself, the more you push away those things and those manifestations, even manifestations, whether it be abundance, whether it be an abundant relationship. The more you doubt and you don't trust in the universe and have faith, the more you're pushing it away, and then it takes longer to come to you. Because Source, God, Divine is always working for your best interest, and your higher self is always working for your best interest. Never once is the universe trying to do bad by you. You didn't come here for that, and that's not the case. So, I really hope that you don't believe that, and that you don't believe that these situations that are happening to you are purposely done to you to hurt you, because they're not. And well, I want you to understand also that there's a reason that happened, and there's a reason that showed up, so that you will question things and question yourself and doubt. But if you can feel it within, and it resonates within with you, that's when you know that's what you need to follow. And that's what you have to follow and go with. So I guess I believe that you can see where I'm going with this, and it has a lot to do with doubt and faith and trust and surrendering. Because I have to keep talking about this, because I'm going through this on a continuous basis myself. I have to continually trust and have faith. And the more you say to yourself, I've been single for 45 years or 50 years or 60 years or whatever the case may be for you, the more you are not trusting and having faith, and you're trusting in your past, which doesn't even exist anymore, or exists kind of simultaneously with the present and the future. But those past situations that were harmful to you don't exist anymore, essentially. And so you have to have deep, deep faith and trust and surrender to everything. But more importantly, you have to have faith in the universe and God. I mean, it's like, how do we not? But yet we've been trained to not. We've been trained to doubt everything. And especially the twin flame journeys and the soulmate journeys and everything, like, there has been such misinformation put out there and confusion to make people doubt that they even have a twin flame or that that person is even their twin flame. And I want to just get into this because the video is getting longer, and I want to get into this, and I want to get to the heart and meat of this video, because there's a whole point to this and how it came full circle for me today. And so I was putting myself out there back in 2017 again, after having heartbreak many different times prior to that. So I put myself out there. I went back online dating, and I went on a couple different dating apps and sites, and the one that the one that I felt worked the most and best for me was Match. And again, this is not a plug for Match. If you wanna sponsor me, you're more than welcome to. But this is not a plug for them. I'm just telling my story, and so that one seemed to work the best for me over the years, and I had the most success with those, with meeting, just people in general. And so I put myself out there. I don't know at what point. What was ironic and interesting about it was my subscription was getting ready to end, and it was getting ready to end in the summer of the summer of 2017. And so I sent a bunch of emails out because, I know we say it's a game of numbers, but it also is, we're putting that energy out into the universe, that movement, that momentum, right? So, which kind of shows to the universe that, hey, we're ready to be open and putting ourselves out there, and, and so the universe delivers and sees that. And so I was doing that, and it was the summer of 2017, and like I said, I had the membership for probably like 6 months. I did a 6-month increment, and maybe I kind of slacked off for a while and didn't really, maybe got defeated a little bit, and I stopped sending emails and going on there, and then I would go back. I would feel a nudge, and I would go on back on, and I'd be doing it again. And well, sometime in July, I sent a bunch of emails. Maybe it was June or July, something like that. And well, come to find out, I think it was August of 2017, and somebody reached out to me. And what was ironic about it is I had literally a few days or a week left on my subscription, and I wasn't going to redo it. I said to myself, I'm not redoing it. I'm going to take a break from it. And lo and behold, I get this email from this individual, and she sent me an email, and I can't tell you exactly what the email said. It was like, I don't know what, 6 years ago. But I can tell you right now that it was interesting, because she said that I had sent her an email a few months ago, and she couldn't stop thinking about me and how I sent her the email. And the way that I sent her the email was almost how I text, where I don't text like these big paragraphs, or at least I used to not do that. I would text one line and one line and one line. So I'd do one line and send it, one line and send it. And it'd be like, before you know it, there'd be like 20 text messages with just a one-liner, and one after the other. And that's how I would send my messages. But I did that in the email. But I didn't do it, I did it in a way, I didn't do it like one line and then send the email. I did it where I did one line, and then I did a long space and one line and long space, and it was like that throughout the whole email. And she remembered that, and it made her, like, it stuck in her head of how I did that. And she told me that it was really funny, and she was reluctant to send me a message, and it took her a couple months to do it. And funny thing is as I said, my subscription was ending, so I wouldn't have been able to respond or anything after that. And literally, I think I had like 5 days left, or I don't know, or a couple days. I really don't know, but it was very close to being over. Because I remember getting a reminder, and she wrote me, and I was like, "What?" Like I didn't even honestly remember who she was because I sent so many emails. I didn't remember what she looked like or anything. And so we got to talking, and we were talking for a while back and forth through email. And before we finally, I don't know, it had to be a good couple months that we were going through email. And funny thing is, I vowed to never do that, where I would wait that long to actually meet somebody. But I remember her being very resistant to that, and it got me questioning things and being skeptical and doubting because of what I experienced in the past. And when I waited too long to meet someone, it but there was something that was pushing me to continue to be almost like pushing her, and so finally it took a couple months. It probably took till we started talking finally in August, and then I would say September, October, when we really started exchanging photos, and we possibly were on the phone by then. And anyways, like I said, I don't remember exact details, but I remember a lot of it. And I can tell you right now that let's try to kind of fast forward a bit. We finally did meet, and we met at this health food store where we shared. At the time, back then, I was eating meat, and back then I was sharing with her organic. I don't even know if you can really get organic tuna, but it was using Vegenaise mayonnaise, which is a dairy-free mayonnaise, and it was one of the best tunas I ever ate. I loved going to this place. They had a lot of alternative, organic, health food items unique to most places. It was in South Florida, Palm Beach County to be exact, Boca Raton, and we sat there at the table and we shared maybe like a quarter pound of tuna from the same thing. We just shared it. And I can tell you right now, the moment I looked in her eyes, I knew. I could literally feel her soul. And I remember her telling me, like, "What are you looking at me like that for?" And I really didn't say anything, I don't think. I don't remember saying anything about it. I think I had mentioned it to her down the road. But I remembered it just I felt so like home. I felt so at peace. I never felt that in my life as to what I felt when I looked in her eyes. And it was interesting because I don't know if it was before that interaction or after. I think it was after we started talking about twin flames and twin flame soulmates and the differences between them and blah 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 and all that stuff. We kind of went down that rabbit hole. And so I kind of knew about twin flames and soulmates and all that a little bit prior to that, but not as much as I started to find out as we started to talk about it. Of course, everybody's heard the term soulmate, but we don't really start talking about twin flame unless we've had an encounter. And so we really started talking about it and getting to know the differences. And she sent me pictures and different things, and we really started talking about, which was ironic. And now looking back, and so I essentially had a massive awakening through her coming in my life, and then through a health challenge around November of 2017. In November, it was around Thanksgiving, and it rocked my world. It went from us having a blast, and I really felt in love with her. I was in love. Let's be real. as I'm real on this channel, and I'm going to be real, and it's hard for me to say because I've questioned it. I've questioned it over the years because I'm a man and I suppress my emotions. That's what I was taught, and and like that's not manly if you do that, if you say that. And but I'm saying it here, and I'm telling you all, if you're a man and you're listening, it's okay. And all of these things you question because it's not manly. Twin flames, all that's bullshit. Like that's women talk about that, type of thing. It's just not manly, you know. But the fact of the matter is, I knew when she was talking about it, and we were talking about it, going back and forth. I knew it. I knew it deep down then. But again, we question and we doubt and we don't have faith and we don't trust in the process. And but I knew so deep down, but yet I still doubted it and I still questioned. I had to seek. I constantly seeked outside validation, trying to find psychics and all these different people that could tell me what I already knew. But yet I doubted it and I questioned it. But I knew there was something special about her and something special about what we had. I just knew it. And but there was so much involved and so much. Well, what skewed everything was what I went through mentally, physically, and spiritually. I was going through a dark night of the soul. I was going through millions of suppressed emotions that I suppressed throughout my entire life of 40 or 30 something years, 35 years or so, because that's how old I was then, that I just pushed down everything. And it was all coming through at once like a raging river. I was experiencing panic attacks. I was experiencing the loss of my weight over 100 pounds or more in less than a week. I got the gym taken away from me. I got everything in my life taken away from me. And I was in 2017, we didn't have a clue what an awakening was, what a Kundalini awakening was, what any of this stuff was. And thank God more people are speaking out and talking about these things now to help and guide others going through this stuff now, because I didn't have any of that. And I was so confused and lost, as I know a lot of people are now. And that's why I'm stepping out and I'm stepping forward and I'm speaking out and I'm creating this channel. Another reason why I'm creating this channel, and another reason why we've created Spiritual Boot Camp. Because to help the lost, to help people that are confused and don't know what's going on and have no clue. Because if people don't step forward and share their stories and their experiences, then we're just going to all continue to be lost and confused. So I knew it deep down. I knew it. I knew she was special. I knew she was really, really special. And she had such mental discipline like I did. I remember one day we were driving in the car and she felt nauseous and was sick. And she told me, just watch this. I'm like, you better pull over. You better pull over. You're going to throw up. And she goes, just watch this. And she pulled up to the light because she was driving. And she literally mentally stopped herself. She was way more advanced than I was spiritually and mentally at that time. I will definitely give her that, 1,000%. And I was learning a lot from her, as she was learning a lot from me. And but it just started to really. We would speak on the phone all the time. We would do video chat, things like that. But it became very difficult for us to meet up and get together and do things. We did, but it wasn't as often as I would have wanted it to be. And then this whole thing happened, and I would venture to say, calling it like a tower moment. My world was rocked. Let's just say rocked to the point where I don't know how many people could actually walk in the shoes that I walked in at that time, and at the many times that I've gone down those moments and those rock bottoms. I know that now that I'm here to share and help because people need it, especially with the strength that I had to go through these situations that I went through. And to show you all that I've come on the other side. And you can too. If I can do it, you can do it, man. Trust me when I say that. Because this is a man that was isolated growing up, bullied beyond belief, had no self-esteem. My self-esteem was so low. I mean, I was down bad. And if I can come here and I can sit on this in front of this camera and record these videos openly and honest and vulnerably, the way that I am, almost 400 videos deep, you can do it too. I promise you that. If I can do it, you can do it. And I know that's really shocking for me to hear myself, because I never could have imagined me sitting here pouring my heart out and soul out on video and on YouTube, and just sharing these really vulnerable experiences that I've gone through and had with you all. So, continuing on, and I'm going to speed this up a little bit because I don't want to make this a 10-hour video. I want to kind of wrap this up shortly and come to full circle where I'm trying to go with this. But I knew deep down, and I'm going to kind of speed ahead. I just got to a point where I had to go down this path of soul searching, and I knew it. And I knew that I had to end the relationship for my own sake and for her sake, because I would not have been doing myself justice if I would have continued. So I knew I had to end it. So in 2018, I would venture to say, I think it was around January of 2018, I texted her a long message, which, looking back in hindsight now, I really wish that I would have called her and talked to her about it, versus just sending her this long message and just ending it in that way and telling her we have to go our separate ways right now. And I never got a response. She read it, but I never got a response. I know she was hurt. And but I had to do it. I had to. It was just really something I had to do for myself and for her. And there's been a level of regret that I've had for years. And I reached out to her many different times. She did respond, but, told me she was in a relationship. This was maybe back in 2020, maybe even earlier than that. I might have reached out. I reached out on Facebook when I was still on Facebook it had to be back in 2019 or yeah, I think it was 2019, because I wasn't on Facebook anymore after 2020. The summer of 2020, I was done with Instagram and everything. So, yeah, it was definitely 2019. And then I think I even reached out to her in 2020 at some point. But she just kept brushing me off and just telling me to go my separate way. And, but, the more and more that I realized, those interactions made me doubt our connection even more. Because I just doubted it, because I didn't have faith that we could come together. And I was also in the mindset that, oh yeah, like society just tells us to let it go, move on. Like, you're not supposed to go back and relive this and blah, blah, blah. And like, you hear all these things out there, which is bullshit, because it's like, what do you feel deep down? What do you feel? Not what someone's telling you that you should be feeling or how you should feel. What do you feel about it? How do you feel about it? Like, do you feel like you're being some kind of stalker, or you're being like, this is wrong, like you shouldn't do that, like you shouldn't relive someone from your past? Like, sometimes things aren't meant to be at that time, but that doesn't mean that they're not meant to come back together. Sometimes you come together at the wrong time, and that's okay. And there's a lesson in that. But I know deep down that we're twin flame soulmates. I know deep down. And I'm not going to question that anymore. There is still a little bit of doubt I receive, because that's programming, that I'm still breaking away from. But Hear this. Every time you doubt and you don't trust and you don't have faith, you're pushing those connections away. You're pushing that money away. You're pushing that abundance away. You're pushing those family partnerships away. You're pushing it away when you doubt and you don't trust and you don't have faith and you don't surrender. When you don't do those things, you're pushing those things away. And you're causing it to go farther and farther away from you. You know, we are all energy. We're all connected. We have the power to create. We are co-creating our life. We are God's spark. But you know, we've been deprogrammed. And it's what you feel deeply, not what somebody tells you that you stumble upon. Oh yeah, well, this message was meant for me. So like sometimes those are tests to doubt, to see how firmly you believe, how much faith you have. They're there to test you and test your faith, right? And are you going to fold, or are you going to trust what you're feeling internally? And I've finally come to the realization that I trust. I so deeply believe that she is my twin flame soulmate. And I know it deep down. I know it just because of the signs I've been getting recently, the signs I've been getting in general. First of all, as you know, I was living in South Florida, and she's living in South Florida as much as I know she is, because I get that deep feeling she is still there. And she was there when I moved, and that was back in 2018 when I moved, and she was there, and she was living there, and I know she was building a business and everything else, and I don't think she's ever left. I know that she's thinking of me. I know that I'm seeing signs. A really big sign from the universe has been Florida. I've been seeing Florida plates like you would not believe. And it's not an accident. Trust and believe that. And the reason I can tell you this, I just saw one in my neighborhood. The car could have been gone when I went for a walk, and I could have not seen it. But lo and behold, I'm walking in the neighborhood and I went with my mother, and she was a little bit ways behind me, but I know that she didn't see it and it didn't resonate with her. But I was literally right behind the car, and I'm like smirking and laughing. I'm like, oh my God, universe, like that's her thinking of me, you know. And boom, there's a Florida plate right in front of me in my neighborhood. Again, mind you, I'm in North Carolina. Not that there's not Floridians coming here, but you know, you're not going to see a message that's not for you. And you know, there's thousands of cars on the highway, and I'm on the highway. I get on the highway, and all of a sudden, bam! There's a Florida car plate right in front of me, pulls right in front of me for a bunch of the way, and then another one comes right beside that one. And it's like, I know you doubters will just say, oh yeah, well you just got Florida on your mind, and you just got her on your mind, so of course it's going to appear in your awareness and you're just going to see it. But that's you doubting, and you don't trust. I trust. I know for a fact these are messages from the universe. Not only that, Thursday, I was going to an appointment, and I was on the phone with my brother, who we record the podcast with, and we were having a really good conversation before I was getting to my appointment. And funny thing is, I was paying attention to the GPS, and all of a sudden, I missed the turn. Right? And I'm like, damn it. And I didn't want to be late, because I was late once before. I missed my appointment before, and it wasn't too pretty. They were okay with it, but I didn't want it to happen again. So lo and behold, I kept going. I turned down the next street. The GPS recalibrated. What do you think I ended up at? A street called Florida Street. I'm looking up at it. I'm on the phone with him. I'm like, bro, you're not gonna believe. I gotta cut you off for a second, man. You're not gonna believe what I'm looking at right now. And now, mind you, I missed the turn that I was supposed to go on. So the universe was purposely had me miss that turn, and I landed at Florida Street. And I'm looking at him like, bro, you're not going to believe this, man. The street that I just ended up at is Florida Street. And I wasn't even supposed to go down this road. It was a mistake because I missed the turn. Now you tell me these are not accident. These are accidents. Nothing is an accident, man. Everything is meant to be. Everything happens for a reason. And that there's a reason for the past few months it's been coming up. I've been seeing Florida, Florida, Florida this, Florida that. Florida plates all the time. The street. I just saw one in my neighborhood. There is no accident. Nothing is an accident. And I promise you, I know from deep down that I really had to sit with this morning when I was doing breath work and when I was meditating, when I was doing yoga. I really had to sit with that. I heard another message from a YouTuber / Patreon individual that I follow, and I got another message from her, and it just reminded me. And I've done some videos. We've done a series, me and Johan, and he just posted a video about dogma, and he's posted videos about surrendering and whatnot, and these are all messages that have been coming in a line for me leading up to this morning, and how we have to lean into faith and trust and not doubt what is happening to us going forward, because we're going to be put in situations going forward that we cannot go outside of ourselves. We have to trust what we feel internally from a vibrational standpoint, from a frequency standpoint. We have to trust what we are feeling and not go outside of ourselves to get the answers. And this right here is a perfect prime example of me trusting and having faith in what's happening, in what has happened, and the fact that she's pushed me away in many different conversations we had, but I still have to have that trust and faith that we're going to come back together. That we are meant to come back together, because I know we are deep down. And it will happen. So I just want you to hold to your heart that please go forward and surrender. Surrender trying to figure it all out with your mind. We can't do that anymore. It doesn't work anymore. We have to step into the unknown and have faith and trust. We have to. That is the only way going forward into this Aquarian age, this age of love. That is what it is about. Faith, trust, undoubtedly not doubting anything that we are doing, that we are being shown and guided in every situation, every experience that we're going through. We are being shown and being guided by angels, by guides, by our higher self, by the divine, by source, by God. The more you don't have that, the more these things will be farther and farther away from you. The more you're going to have a bill appear and you're not going to be able to pay it, and you're not going to know how to pay it. It requires you to have faith and trust that it's going to get paid. And then somehow, some way, that money will appear. Well, maybe you'll walk on the street and you'll find it. Maybe a friend will call you and say, hey man, you tell them the story and they say, hey man, here's the money for that bill. It will come. But you have to trust and believe so deeply that that will happen. And that means every area of your life, having deep faith, trust, and not doubting. So I hope you found this video and I'm trying to come up with the word, guys. Oh man, it was right on the tip of my tongue and I had lost it. I hope that you got something out of this video. I hope that it helps you in your life and your experiences, and you grow from it. And you learn to surrender and trust and have deep faith in what is happening to you is happening for your highest good. And that's it. That's all I have for you. In this one, I'm sure we'll go into more depth in another video. Like I said, we're 44 minutes in. I didn't want to draw this out too long, but you get the point. You get the idea. Trust yourself. Trust the universe. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in the universe, and trust that everything you're going through is for your growth, and you're going through it for you to 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 get courage, to build courage and build your self-esteem and set boundaries and stop being a people pleaser and just be the person you came here to be, a courageous, strong warrior of light. I love you all so much. Please take care of yourselves and each other. From my heart to yours. Until next time, please like, share, subscribe, and comment if you got to this part of the video. I love you all so much. And I hope that this video finds you and finds a message for you in it. That to trust everything in your life and stop doubting. We have so much energy here and so many angels and guides protecting us and guiding us right now and surrounding us, and loved ones and masters and teachers. And it just requires deep, deep trust and faith in yourself and the universe. So have trust, have faith, don't doubt, surrender everything. I love you all so much. From my heart to yours, take care of yourselves and each other. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, let's go, Wisdom Warriors of Light. We got this.